Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Ethitech Diabetes live Facebook chat this evening. My name is Keegan Hall, and I'm the Product and Marketing Manager for Ethitech Health Innovation. And we're really excited about this conversation that we're going to be able to have this evening with many of you. And there's one little thing that we've kept a little bit of a secret when it comes to the promotion of this live event. And that is what will be coming next. So just to give you a bit of context, so we will just be going through, we've had quite a few interests, especially, during this third wave of COVID, everybody, staying at home and researching best practices, best technologies, especially when it comes to diabetes management. And we thought it would be best to actually have an opportunity to address some of the broader questions that many of you do have in a forum like this. So no questions are off the table. I will be going through very basic high-level intros of the three products that we have within our diabetes care range. And then we're opening up the floor to questions for you guys to have the opportunity to ask your questions when it comes to our products. We'll also then have a call to action at the end, and we will definitely then follow up with that. So to get started, we are thinking, what can we do to make this a bit more personable for you to understand the benefit of technology such as continuous glucose monitoring, insulin pumps, insulin pen caps. And, I was thinking about it and, we're going through this horrific third wave within our country and within South Africa and specifically Gauteng at the moment. And I thought, no better way of really understanding how this technology can help not only in your daily life with diabetes, but in a situation that hopefully not many of us get into is with COVID, and how this type of technology really helps people when it comes to getting through COVID and living through COVID. So with that, I would like to welcome a guest, Marianne van Rooyen. So Marianne is one of our customers. She's on the Dexcom G6. She's been on the system for the last year. And I thought it would be great for us to just hear her story because she got COVID in our second wave, so last year. And the first thing that she said when we spoke to her about it was, the Dexcom saved my life. And that's where I wanted to end it because I wanted to also hear the story when you hear it. So I don't know exactly what she's going to say. But I'm really excited to hear what she does. So Marianne, welcome, and thank you so much for joining us this evening. And we're really looking forward to hearing your experience and how the technology like the Dexcom G6 helped you get through having COVID-19.
Yeah, thank you, Keegan. It's really wonderful to be here and to be able to share my story. Like you said, I've had the Dexcom for approximately the last year. I've been a type 1 diabetic for 24 years, and I can really just say that Dexcom has really changed my life. I think most of us diabetics were and are terrified of COVID. I think especially because the media has made such a hype about diabetics shouldn't get it, and the comorbidity side of it and all of that. And so I was very scared of it. And after the first wave, I thought I have to do something to just help me to manage my sugar levels better, firstly, and then also just to see if I'm okay. And my doctor told me about the Dexcom, and I did a bit of research and I spoke to the rep who helped me to start with my Dexcom journey. And then in December last year, my sugars were doing very well since I started with my Dexcom. And in December last year, I saw my sugars spike before I actually realized I was sick. So my sugars started spiking like crazy, and there was nothing I did wrong or nothing I did differently, and I could kind of just sense something was off. And I went for a test. Actually, I went to a doctor first who told me it's definitely not COVID. You just have sinus. And then I just decided, let me just go and test for, just to be sure. And I tested positive. I told someone the other day, I think I cried for the entire day when I got my results because, once again, diabetes.
Yeah.
And then so during the whole COVID thing, I think also my Dexcom was just incredible because I could really manage it properly. And there's a section in the app which also allows you to put in events because my insulin it almost felt like it wasn't working properly. So I would inject and nothing would happen. I would inject again and nothing would happen. So that helped me also just to manage to see how many units I was using. And that helped my doctor also to see how to manage it better. And then I had a physician who put me on cortisone and like all of those things just for in case. And that also spiked my sugar like crazy.
Oh, sure.
But that, once again, the Dexcom helped me just to see where my levels were at. And yeah, I must say, I think I spoke to another doctor also who said if I hadn't had my Dexcom, I would have had to go to hospital because my sugars were doing such a crazy thing. So I think it also gave me a lot of ease, I think, if that's the right word, to just know where I was at. One of the other big things that helped me a lot was an oximeter just to see where my oxygen levels were at.
Yeah.
But I think my Dexcom was even a bigger help with the whole situation. So if there are any people going through the situation at the moment, I would really say like Dexcom is really a good product, especially with the app and everything. It just helps you to manage it, and especially because you can share your data with someone else as well. So I had a friend who checked up on me.
Who did you share your data with, Marianne?
I shared it with my doctor and then with my best friend also. And she was close by, so she could also check, and she would phone me and say, "Hey, what's your sugar doing now? Why is it going so high?" Or,
And how long did you experience these erratic glucose levels while you had COVID?
I think it was about 9 days since it started. So that's also that I took that as my first day of symptoms. When my sugar started spiking like that. Yeah.
If anybody has any questions, type them in the comment section, and Marianne can answer them. But I mean, I've just got one as well in the sense of you not having to worry then, right, about what was happening with your glucose because you could see it all the time, right? And did that allow you the opportunity to actually get more rest and get recovered quicker from COVID?
Definitely, especially with the arrow that shows it whether it's going up or whether it's going down. I remember at some stage I was at like 18 with 2 arrows going up. So just to be able to fix that also was a big help. It really helped me to just have comfort.
Yeah, I'm sure. And did you and was it beneficial for your doctor to also have access to your glucose readings almost in real time with the Dexcom?
I think that also helped her to help me to manage it better. At some stage, she just said to me, "Okay, you know what? Just stop injecting now because you're gonna make yourself into a very big low as well." So, especially with the events that you can add.
Are you a long hauler, or are you a long hauler, as they call people who've had COVID and are still experiencing symptoms?
Luckily not. And I'm a teacher, so I was able to get vaccinated in the last week as well, which is very wonderful. So I'm grateful.
Fantastic. Awesome. Well, if there's any questions for Marianne, please go ahead and put them in the comment section. But I think it's quite enlightening, and I agree with what you say that we've been drilled, right, that comorbidities and as soon as they mention comorbidities, one of the top 3 that they always mention is diabetes. And it can become quite overwhelming, when you do then get that positive result, you're like, oh my word, I've now fallen into that category of where people have been saying you can't get it, you're high risk, you've got a higher chance of mortality, you've got all these issues. But clearly this is something that we can get through with the correct help, the correct advice from our doctors, and also with information, right? So I'm a strong believer in information is king. And obviously with Dexcom getting those 288 glucose readings per day, that is definitely added to that. So we've got a question here. So Marianne, have you noticed any changes in your glucose after getting vaccinated?
Yeah, that's quite interesting. So I had a bit of symptoms, but not too. It wasn't too. It wasn't the way it was when I had COVID. So there was a bit of a spike, but it wasn't as huge.
Okay.
Yeah, but I had other bit of side effects, but that's also passed now. So I'm just grateful I got it.
Yeah. So we've got, it's more of a comment. So COVID's from Ursula. So COVID symptoms are all over the place in any case. So if you have peace of mind about your insulin, that must be a game changer. So I think, Ursula, we do agree with that. And I think that's something that Marianne definitely honed in on in her experience with COVID.
Yeah, no, definitely.
So here's another question for you, Marianne. So from Pilots with Diabetes, South Africa, what was your time in range like before and after COVID?
Yeah, I think something else that I've seen with my Dexcom, which I love, is the app where you can see your HbA1c, like, over the last 14 days, 30 days and 60 days, and 90 days, I think, actually. So I think, so before and after, much better than in the time, if that makes sense. So my HbA1c is actually amazing at the moment. And it wasn't before I had the before I had the Dexcom, I was struggling a bit. But it's just made me much more aware of it as well.
Yeah, for sure. Great. Well, Marianne, thank you so much. It's been a pleasure to chat with you, even before in our studio. It's been great to get to know you, and thank you so much for agreeing to join us this evening. We really do appreciate it. So thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so with that now, we are going to more info around the products. I already see some questions coming through on the comments with regard to some of the products, especially the Dexcom. I think that's specific to the fact that Marianne is using it, and we will get to those questions at the end. So at this stage, I'm just going to introduce you if you haven't. If you're not aware of the product at the moment. So the first one that I want to introduce you to is the Tandem t:slim X2 insulin pump. So this is, and specifically with Control-IQ technology. So traditionally, insulin pumps are just another way of receiving insulin. So instead of taking, multiple daily injections, you would then connect yourself to an insulin pump. So the Tandem pump, if you have a look at it on screen at the moment, it almost looks like a smart device. And if I had to think about it, so full disclosure, I am on the system myself. So you might understand my bias when it comes to how really awesome this product is. But if you just look at it, it looks like a smart device. And there's nothing better that describes the Tandem t:slim X2 insulin pump than a smart device. Because what is a smart device? A smart device helps you better manage whatever it is that you're trying to do. Whether it's your cell phone helping you to manage your diary, your emails, it helps you do it better. And that's no exception when it comes to the Tandem t:slim X2 insulin pump. This is a pump that we call the pump that gets updated, not outdated. So again, going back to the analogy of a cell phone, imagine every time Apple or Samsung come out with a software update that better improves the system and the usability for you as the customer. you have to go and buy a new phone. Now, in my opinion, I would not be very happy with that. And why should diabetes technology be any different? And Tandem has really hit the nail on the head when it comes to that, because I'll use the example. So we launched the Tandem T-Slim X2 insulin pump in South Africa 3 years ago. And in effect, people who purchased that pump in August 2018 have effectively had 3 new pumps since then. However, we do know that in many cases in our country, when it comes to pump reimbursement, that we only get a pump once every 4 years. So technically, if this pump was not available for update, a customer of ours that purchased it 3 years ago would still be waiting for Control IQ, or would still be waiting for the latest technology. However, they have access to it through the remote feature update. So just a little bit more on Control IQ. So it's an advanced hybrid closed loop system. So the word advanced is imperative to the title. And what it's designed to do is increase our time in range. So Marianne mentioned time in range before and post-COVID, and pilots with diabetes in the comments section. So time in range is 3.9 to 10 millimoles as measured by the CGM. And the way Control IQ technology works is based on a 30-minute predicted CGM value. So it's taking all this information that it's getting from the Dexcom G6 CGM system, and it's predicting where that patient, or where are you going to be headed in 30 minutes, and adjusts insulin automatically to that. And even giving an automatic correction bolus if it does predict the trend to be at a certain threshold within 30 minutes, it will give you that automatic correction bonus. So without any further ado, I just want to share a video with you so that you can see the real workings of this system. And it's imperative. And if you have any questions, please feel free to post them in the comments section, and we will then answer them in the Q&A.
Welcome. We're excited to show you how easy control can be using the T-Slim X2 insulin pump with Control IQ technology from Tandem Diabetes Care. This video explains how Control IQ technology works during usual day-to-day activities when you aren't using the sleep or exercise activity settings. To learn more about how to use the sleep and exercise activity settings, please watch our other videos. The goal of Control IQ technology is to minimize the burden of managing your diabetes by automatically adjusting insulin delivery based on readings from your continuous glucose monitor, or CGM. Using readings from the Dexcom G6 CGM, Control IQ technology predicts what your glucose will be in 30 minutes and adjusts insulin delivery accordingly. Treatment values are the CGM values that trigger Control IQ technology to act in order to help increase time spent in the target range of 3.9 to 10 millimoles per liter. When your glucose is predicted to be between 6.25 millimoles per liter and 8.9 millimoles per liter 30 minutes in the future, your pump will deliver insulin at the rate determined by your active personal profile. During this time, you will see a gray diamond icon on the home screen, and the pump status icon will be a black B and a light blue square. When your glucose is predicted to be at or below 6.25 millimoles per liter 30 minutes in the future, Control IQ technology will begin to decrease insulin delivery from your active personal profile rate to help to keep your glucose within the target range. While this is happening, the lower half of the diamond icon will become orange, and the pump status icon will also be orange. When Control IQ technology predicts that your glucose will be below 3.9 millimoles per liter 30 minutes in the future, basal insulin delivery will be stopped. Bolus deliveries will continue, including any active extended bolus currently underway. You will also be able to start a new bolus even though basal delivery has been stopped. When Control IQ technology has stopped your basal insulin delivery, the lower half of the diamond will become red, and the pump status icon will be a red 0. Additionally, you will see a red shaded area on the CGM trend graph, which lets you know that basal insulin was stopped during that time. Basal insulin delivery will resume once your glucose is predicted to be above 3.9 millimoles per liter 30 minutes in the future. When Control-IQ technology predicts that your glucose will be above 8.9 millimoles per liter 30 minutes in the future, basal insulin delivery will be increased. During this time, the upper half of the diamond icon will be blue, and the pump status icon will be a white B in a dark blue square. This icon is different from a personal profile rate, which is a black B in a light blue square. When Control-IQ technology predicts that your glucose value will be at or above 10 millimoles per liter 30 minutes in the future, and when Control-IQ technology is either increasing insulin delivery or delivering the max basal rate, the pump will deliver an automatic correction bolus to help return you to the target range. While Control-IQ technology is delivering an automatic correction bolus, you will see the icon of a white droplet in a blue square. Also note that when Control-IQ technology is delivering an automatic correction bolus, you will see a Control-IQ bolus displayed at the bottom of the screen. Thanks for watching this video. We hope you enjoy seeing how easy control can be with the T-Slim X2 insulin pump with Control-IQ technology.
Okay, so that's the Tandem T-Slim X2 insulin pump with Control-IQ technology. So as mentioned, the Dexcom G6 speaks directly with the Tandem pump. That's where it gets its glucose data from, its CGM data. And as you could see by the video, the algorithm depends heavily on it. And therefore, the accuracy and the efficacy of the CGM is imperative when it comes to these types of technologies and how effectively they work to manage a person living with diabetes condition throughout the day without them even having to know or worry about it. And one of the big benefits and what we've seen from our customers and when we do our annual surveys is the no finger sticks and no calibrations. And I think only people with diabetes can understand how that really makes an impact of not having to do a finger stick to confirm whether the glucose value is that, or if my glucose is rapidly rising, let me check first before I action. With the Dexcom G6, action is not required when it comes to finger sticks to confirm a glucose reading, which is such a load off for many of our customers with diabetes and insulin therapy, especially. Not having to do these makes such a difference. Another proprietary feature that Dexcom has come out with is the urgent low soon alert. And this is something that, again, within our surveys, we've seen a huge portion of our customer base really leaning towards this feature as being one of their favorites. And an urgent low soon alert means that you will get an alert from your Dexcom on your phone or on the receiver or on your Tandem pump, if your glucose is going to be 3.1 millimoles or less within 20 minutes. Now, that is a huge advantage. You've been warned 20 minutes into the future that you're going to have a low glucose. So you can act already on that notification and therefore reducing the chances of even having a severe low glucose episode. So that is a huge advantage. And as mentioned, accuracy is an extremely important concept when it comes to, people with diabetes trusting the system and getting the most out of the system. And the Dexcom G6 has one of the most accurate sensors on the market of a MARD, which we call the mean absolute relative difference. And that's just how all these different sensors are measured according to the laboratory. And 9% is extremely accurate. Even so, that the Tandem pump and the algorithm of Control-IQ bases its delivery of insulin on the information from the Dexcom, just indicating the extreme accuracy of this product. Acetaminophen or paracetamol blocking. So previous generations of the Dexcom, it was contraindicated to take paracetamol, like Panado, for instance. However, with the G6, there's a membrane that blocks the paracetamol up to 1,000 milligrams every 4 hours, which, especially with kids who are possibly, have earache or a toothache and need to have some paracetamol, this does no longer affect the integrity of the glucose value that the Dexcom is producing. Another huge thing is, the custom alert schedules that the user determines how much or how many alerts they get and how they get those alerts. Is it a vibration, or is it an audible alert? Is it at night, or is it in the day? Is it over weekends, or is it in the week? So the customizability of this product is extremely beneficial for many of our customers, and I'm sure you can understand that as well. The sensors last for 10 days. I saw that question coming up in the comments, and I think it was answered by one of our fellow viewers. So yes, it is at this stage a 10-day wear sensor. It's indicated for treatment decisions and dosing. So that just goes back to 3 aspects: the MARD of being 9%, so it's accuracy. There's no need for calibrations or finger sticks. So you can make your treatment decision based on what the Dexcom value is with the arrows and the trend graph. And Dexcom have really, honed in on ease of use and simple insertion when it comes to the sensor. And with the Dexcom G6, they've really knocked the ball out of the park when it comes to that, as it is an extremely simple process to insert the sensor. And especially for some parents with, really young kids. I mean, many of our business consultants have started 2-3-year-olds on the Dexcom, and it needs to be an easy process for those parents in order to insert a sensor into their 3-year-old, and as painless as possible, which we are seeing that as a benefit of this product as well. So just a quick one on a new product, and I'm sure you've seen a bit of it on social media. So we have become the distributor for what we call Malia. And Malia turns your insulin pen into a smart device. And you can see by the video of how easy it is to actually just clip onto an existing disposable insulin pen. It personalized tracking of your insulin injections. It's compatible with 3 disposable insulin pens. It's rechargeable, so 3 to 4 times daily use, excuse me, requires a charge once a month. It's removable, so you can, when your insulin pen is finished, you can clip it onto the next one. You've got visual and audio signals, which really increases your compliance when it comes to injecting. Many people are told, when you inject, hold the injection in for 5 seconds to ensure that all the insulin is delivered before removing the injection from your body. Now, this gives you audible alerts and signals in order to tell you when it is the right time to do it. And all of this data is automatically captured through Bluetooth and sent to your mobile device, where it's also easy for you to share your logs with your healthcare team, especially now during COVID, when you possibly are having some virtual consultations with your healthcare team. It's a hugely valuable device to have in order to share that type of data with your healthcare team. So these are the 3 models that are available. So it's for your Malia Quick Pens, as an example, your Humalog, so from Lilly. You've got your Malia for Solar Staff, so from your Sanofi products, Lantus, Apidra, and Tegeo. And you've got Malia for FlexPen, your Novo Nordisk range of Nova Rapid and Levemir. Okay, so with that, we are going to start with the Q&A. We will have a look, see. We'll start actually from the top of the list, and we will go through some of the questions that you have. I'm happy to be joined by my colleague, Head of Ethitech Health Innovation, also a very close friend of mine, and fellow Type 1, Imke Erasmus, to just join us in this Q&A session, so that all you hear is just not my voice all the time going on and on, to add a bit of variety to the conversation that we will have.
Thank you, Keegan. He invited me to answer all the difficult questions, and I already saw a few of them. So let me start. I saw a question of someone asking when the G7 will be available in South Africa. Now, we are all very excited to be launching that product, but unfortunately, we don't have any timelines as yet. What we do know is that the product will be more cost effective, but we don't know by how much the product will be cheaper. And we also know that they are planning to launch the product in the US next year. So out of my experience, I don't want to give you too much hope. I do not think that the product will be in our country before at least the middle of next year, or even only in 2023. But we are pushing always to get the product in as soon as possible. What's nice about South Africa is we are English-speaking country and we're small, so our demand is not that big on the US. So we just want to give you our commitment that we always try our best to get the products here as soon as possible. There is another question. When will we see? Okay, that is the one that I've just answered. Yeah. Thank you, Darren. I've also seen one. Okay, any ideas when the T Connect will be released on the South African Apple Store? So you do have a lot of new product launches questions. What I can tell you is that they are doing a relaunch of T Connect. So the name of the product is going to be T Source. And we are already going to do a pilot of the software in South Africa coming soon. But unfortunately, the app, and I think that is what you're referring to, the convenience of having an app where you can bolus from your phone, that is still in the approval process. Obviously, it still needs to go through the FDA approval and will also first be launched in the US, which we prefer because we can learn from their mistakes. So I know it's something that I also longing to use, but again, the same answer as the G7, hopefully somewhere next year, but I can't commit to anything.
So I think just on that as well, I think what we've heard from Tandem, right, is that obviously, it's available in the US, the T Connect app. However, there's no remote bolus features or anything like that within the app yet. And their commitment is that when they launch outside of the US, they want to launch that app with a remote bolus option. And we know that there are major security risks when it comes to that. I mean, I'm just thinking I'm lying in bed and my daughter is watching YouTube Kids on my phone. And for some or other reason, she manages to get into my Tandem app and administers 50 units of insulin. So there's quite a lot of work that Tandem are pushing the FDA to really work with and to get the security up and running with that. Imka, I don't know if you want to take this. So can the T-Slim pump work with another sensor besides Dexcom? Read online that there's an agreement with Abbott. This is from Eloise Landman.
Eloise Landman, I've also read that online, and what I can tell you is the integration, there's currently no CGM other than Dexcom integrated with the Tandem. They've started only with conversations with Abbott, and what I do know is it's only going to be with the Libra 2 sensor, which is not currently available in South Africa. But that's all we know.
Okay, then we've just got some, I think it's worth reading, and can see some of our loyal customers have joined our live event. So Lynn Sewell, the Dexcom G6 is absolutely amazing. Constant visuals of what your glucose levels are doing. Makes it so easy to react before anything goes wrong. Love my Dexcom. Thank you so much for an amazing product. You are most welcome, Lynn. And thank you for joining us on our YouTube channel. And for those people who don't know, we have a YouTube channel, so please go check it out with a lot of resources on there as well. Wendy Ferguson, so wow, the alert function is fantastic, really life-changing. Then we've got Claire Potgieter, no finger sticks, achieving a towering range of over 80%. Control IQ is my most prized possession. Hashtag game changer. Hashtag thank you very much, Claire. So Imka, do you need a script to buy this device? Amelia Foster.
Sure. Now I'm scared my team is going to say I tell the truth online of what I tell them. So I'm actually a pharmacist, so I can give you the correct answer. So Dexcom is not a scheduled product, so you can walk into any Clicks and get the product OTC. But if the Clicks pharmacist dispense the Dexcom product as a over-the-counter product, the product will be more expensive versus when you have a script. Us at Ethitech is of the belief that it is better to get a prescription from your doctor and to get training from the diabetes team. And we're not saying that because we're trying to be difficult. We just think that the doctor should still be involved in this process. Obviously, if you've never been on a continuous glucose monitoring, there's a lot of training that you need to know. One of the things that I learned when I moved from testing my glucose with a meter going on to CGM is you want to act immediately. So you see your glucose rising with 2 arrows up, and then you give yourself an injection, but it's you're not waiting long enough to see that the active insulin that you've got in your body is going to work maybe in the next half an hour. So there's a lot of settings and CGM training that we prefer a doctor should advise you to do. We don't say it need to be a diabetes doctor. So any one of you that's seeing your GP can ask them for the script. If your doctor doesn't know enough about diabetes, our diabetes team is all qualified, either dietitians or nurses, and they've trained very well, and they've got a lot of experience to guide you and help you through the process.
And then just to add to that, so Emilia, if obviously the tandem pump requires a script from your doctor, and then the Malia insulin pen cap doesn't. You can actually go online on the Ethitech Diabetes website and go and purchase the Malia insulin pen cap from there. And then that, to just get to your question, Bianca, unfortunately not at this stage. It doesn't fit with the pen fill pens from any of the companies, including Novo Nordisk. It's purely those disposable pens at this stage. Okay.
Do we have any? Oh, sorry. Do we have any questions? Customers on that's watching tonight that is not already using Dexcom and Tandem or working for Ethitech? Because I want to just invite all of you. We have a competition here tonight. So if you complete, you'll see we'll post a link in the chat box as well. And if you complete the form so that we can maybe get in touch with you, if you're interested to purchase one of these products, we will give a lucky hamper away with a lucky draw for everyone that completed that form, which is you can ask some of our influencers. They've also received an Ethitech hamper with T-shirts and water bottles. So just want to encourage to, even if you already use the product, to share what you think about the product with other type 1s and fellow type 1s to get more access to the product. Marcinay is saying, I see there are smartwatches displaying the Dexcom on your website. How does it work? Can I use it without my phone? So that's a good question. So currently, you still need, so I believe with the G7 it would be different, but with the Dexcom G6, you still need your phone. So if I go for a run and I want to see my glucose all the time, I need to take my phone or my pump with me. So it won't display on my watch if I don't have my phone with me. And that is because the watch doesn't have the SIM card. So that is the answer to that.
Okay, so can you please explain how a sensor can be accurate without calibrations? So there's one thing to note here is that the system is not calibrated, but what it is, it's factory calibrated. And where it's different to other sensors on the market is that each individual sensor that comes out of the Dexcom factory is individually tested and calibrated. And you'll see that each sensor has a code, and each code is the calibration code for that sensor for the duration of that 10 days. So it's not that it doesn't need calibrations, it does, but what it doesn't need is for you to calibrate it every day or twice a day in order for the accuracy to be achieved. Marlet, you are most welcome. Thank you for your comment. That's the reason why we bring these products out is to help people better live their life with diabetes, or as our theme for the year is hashtag live your life. Okay, then we've got my stomach has so much hunger from injections, sensors, and infusion sets. If I use my arm, I lose signal all the time. Any other place that I can put my sensor? So thank you, Janet, for your comment. So what I would recommend is possibly, so obviously it's indicated for your outer arm. So what you can do is move the sensor around a bit so that there's better communication with your phone. So that it's more facing out, and especially if you're wearing it on your inner arm, you have a risk of sensor signal loss because your arm and your body is blocking the signal from the transmitter to the phone. So try moving the sensor a bit further on the outside of your arm in order for it to better communicate with your device. Okay, so just while we're waiting for a few more questions, as Imka mentioned, we're running a spot draw of the during this live event. So I've just posted a comment with the form that we ask you to please fill in if you're interested in one of our products, and one of our very educated, very willing to help go-getter diabetes team business consultants will be in touch with you over the next couple of days in order to just go through any further questions that you might have, or any questions that you might think of after this event, and we can then get in touch with you and assist you in any way that we can. Okay, so we have another comment. So I'm on the Tandem T-Slim pump with the Dexcom G6 for about 3 months now. Absolutely awesome product and changed my diabetes management completely. Thanks so much for your comment, Enrico.
Enrico, if I might ask, what is your time and range on Control IQ? What are you achieving? It's just the competitiveness in me. It's interesting to see. I mean, the gold standard, they say, is you have to achieve more than 70%. And 70% was always quite difficult. And now we've got quite a few type 1 diabetics working for Ethitech. And between the 4 of us, we're always in a competition of who's got the highest time and range. And now sometimes if I achieve 80%, I'm quite disappointed. Just because even 90% is sometimes possible on Control IQ, which is really awesome.
So Bianca, I just want to share your comment. So thank you for saving my 4-year-old's life every day, keeping me sane and giving more peace of mind. So that's something that obviously it can't be measured, right? Is the peace of mind that all these products also do add to, never mind maybe the child with diabetes, but their entire family. And that's always something that we hear whenever we feel like, oh, we're down, or why are we doing this? It's for those exact reasons, as you've mentioned, Bianca, that is why we bring out these products into the market. Okay, so let's see if there's any other comments. So Lauren, Keegan, if you are using Control IQ and the pump is doing so much by itself, does that mean you don't need to bolus? No. So insulin is still insulin. And the way in which Control IQ or the Tandem pump works with Control IQ is it's not removing your meal bonus. The pump, there's no AI yet available in order for the pump to know how much you're eating or what you're eating. You still have to do that. But what it does do is that it does give you that peace of mind, is that, because let's be honest, to get that smack on every single time is very difficult unless you're weighing your food and you know exactly how it's being cooked. But it gives you that peace of mind that you've got that safety net in the background, giving you that automatic correction bonus, increasing your basal or decreasing your basal rate if it is needed. So it is that, and the best part is that there's not many things that can stop Control IQ from working. The biggest reason why Control IQ doesn't work is because you're in the 2-hour sensor warm-up of the Dexcom G6. So that's the only time really that you're not going to have Control IQ available, is when you're in your 2-hour warm-up with the sensor. So here's a question for you, Imke. Where else can I put my True Steel? In my stomach, it's also quite sore, painful.
Maybe in your calf? No, don't try that. Well, the indication of use, unfortunately, is only on your stomach and on your buttocks. We do have, the question is, what is the definition of your buttocks and how low does that go? So I do know a lot of people that actually wears it in the middle of your bum at the back, but also on your back just before your bum starts, your abdomen in front, or your whole abdomen area. Where are you? My stomach is also sore. Yeah, so I'll just recommend the back. I don't know if you've tried. I don't know if you have love handles, Marlet. I do, so that's quite a good place to put them on your back.
Okay, then we have a similar question, and Bianca, I'm assuming we're referring to a Dexcom sensor here. What would you say is the best side for my 4-year-old who is very skinny? So I think it's the same question, right? So in that upper buttocks, lower back area where, all kids have at least a little bit of a bum, might work quite well. When I was a business consultant and dealing with especially kids who are quite skinny and young, I found that to be a good place as well, because it's also out of sight, out of mind for them. So they're not playing with the sensor, or it's not, in their way, or, directly where they can get to it. So it also helps with that as well.
Maybe one of the consultants, I know you can't see them, but maybe they can also comment the answers. I know they work with the patients much more than we do, so maybe there's some answers from them as well.
Yeah, so Kim actually just replied and said you could also use the back of the arm if there's a bit of meat there. So Imke, you asked Enrico what his time in range was. So his time in range was 72%. Most recent time in range dropped to 60% after going through COVID-19. So another one. So we're glad that you got through it, Enrico, and I'm sure that 72% will be achieved quite quickly as well. Saying Mazibuko, so personally appreciate the value in having type 1 diabetics working at Ethitech. Yeah, Ethitech only employ, very attractive people, and we all know that type 1s are very attractive. So it's just an easy fix to find someone in that category if we're looking at the type 1s.
We are pleased. Oh, I don't know if that's allowed. I wanted to announce that we've got a new customer service consultant that starts in August. But I'm so scared of the Poppy Act now that I don't even know if I'm allowed to say a name now. So maybe I shouldn't.
But yes, she will be part of the clan. Let's just say that. Okay, so any further questions? So I've already seen some of you responding to the form, which is great. So that is thank you so much for that. We have another question. So do you ever worry that the tandem pump can be hacked if updated with software updates? So Tandem is extremely cognizant of this. And the only way in which the tandem pump is ever connected is when there's an update required. And there's a full software program that is completely secure when it comes to receiving updates for the tandem pump. And each update requires a unique code that is generated based on the serial number of that unique insulin pump. So it is extremely secure, and there is traceability as well of the pump software as well. Okay, so I heard something about a hamper. Can you please explain? My internet was down. So Junior, so just if whoever's interested in any of the 3 products that we've discussed this evening, and you go and fill out that form, I'll post it again in the comments. There's a link for you to just go and fill it out and indicate the product that you're interested in. Within that that form, we will do a lucky draw, and someone will be able to receive a hamper with a bag, a t-shirt, a Dexcom t-shirt, Malia buffs, and that type of stuff. So
water bottle.
A water bottle. So those types of things will be available to you if you complete that form and indicate the product that you are interested in. Okay, if there aren't any further questions, again, if there's something that comes to mind, go fill out that form. One of our business consultants will get in touch with you over the next couple of days to discuss any further information about, obtaining the products, scripting, any features that you want a bit of clarification about, or if you need any further information or assistance in getting it, and getting in touch with your doctors or your healthcare team. We are there to assist you. So get in touch with us. Visit our website, ethitechdiabetes.co.za. We've launched a blog on there that has different categories of interest: nutrition, exercise, product, as well as general diabetes education. And we will soon be posting our next blog spot from our resident exercise guru, diabetic athlete. He's done a vlog for us for this month, so look out for that. And obviously go and follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and follow us on YouTube for any updates when it comes to any of our products, product launches, product availability, and just engage with us. We love to hear from you. And it will definitely be great to hear from you and engage with you on those platforms.
Go on. From my side, for all our current customers, thank you for your support and being part of the Ethitech family. And enjoy your evening, and good luck for level 4 lockdown for all the Gautengers. Stay safe, and we hope to see you soon.
Thank you, everybody. Have a good evening.